Hello there. Come on in. If you're just coming by for the first time, I'm Franklin, your astrologer. This is the Cosmic Watch. We check the sky, see what's going on, see what you can look forward to in the next few days as we move towards Pisces. Uh, we're in the last couple of days now of Aquarius, and this is when things really start to meld in that last day or two with the next sign. Pisces is just a couple of days away, and the Aquarians born today are eights. Their birth number adds up to 17, and 1 + 7 = 8. One, one can be good luck. Yeah, it really can. And we are joined in the chat room with Crazy Coolius saying hi and saying his birthday is coming up very soon. And here's Karen saying hello. And we'll be joined by people in the chat room throughout this hour. Traits of all 12 of the signs. We are constantly working our way through the moon sign every 28-day cycle, and there's 13 of those lunar cycles every year, and those are the real noticeable changes, but they happen to everybody. It's a real common bond, So we'll when I was getting ready to put this together tonight. This is the card that I drew when I asked how things were going, and the staffs here, of course, are about work and what we're doing right now, and doing a good job, doing the connection with the color green. That's the real tip off here. The color green is all about your third eye chakra and being able to have intuition, to see into others. So this means to me that I'm doing a good job. I'm at the top level. See, the king, that's what that is, showing the level of whatever you're doing. So, hey, good for me. Cody dropping in, saying, hey, Franklin, how have you been from last week? This week, since I missed that last reading, I was busy from earlier. Yeah, last week, things just fell apart. They did. We couldn't get the audio to work, and then it was technical difficulties the whole way. We pretty much just skipped it for last week. But we have Coolios. When is crazy? When is your birthday? When is that going to happen here? Cody says also realize that tomorrow will be the last day of Aquarius. It's coming Sunday. It'll be the sun sign of Pisces. And here's something for all Pisceans to remember and keep in mind, is that your luckiest time of the year is always the 30 days before your birthday. And here's Katie saying hi. How are you, dear? Come on in. We're discussing the fact that you can really look at those 30 days. Say also joining us tonight. The 30 days before anyone's birthday, the 28 days actually, the lunar cycle, is the luckiest time of the year, where you start to, well, even money wise, you walk into things and your timing is just impeccable. You join conversations at the right time, and you leave at the right time. Boy, that's even more important, knowing when to fold them, when to get out of there. So that was what I was looking at for myself. So if we start at the head of the room here, Crazy got in first. Crazy Coolios. If I was looking at you right now, boy, something is coming to an end, huh? then the death card means something's over. Whatever it is that you're currently involved with, it looks like, is over. There's going to be big changes in the CC world, and this is releasing the past, man, letting it go. And Nini also joined us, and Lily girl, hi there. Nini, we almost connected last week, and then our program fell apart. And here's Lydia, and saying hello to everyone, and passing blessings on to everyone. That's what the chat room is all about, is bringing together people from everywhere. You can be anywhere in the world right now, and be a part of this live stream, and be able to feel that you are one of. It is a group, but it's intuition that stretches out across any lines that have ever been drawn on a map, right? Cody saying that's true, and yes, thank you from Lydia, and Nelly also saying hi. Okay. Now, before we get along any longer here, we got up to Karen, right? Karen, we got a very crowded room tonight, and if I was looking at Karen right now, oh wow, that's Karen. This is what's coming to you. It is truly the thing that you've asked for. It's what you prayed for is coming true in a big way. That is tremendously good fortune right there. And yes, Karen saying she's still here. Yes, Karen, that's probably the most fortunate card in my deck. It really says that you've put in the work. You've paid your dues. You have done everything you did from your heart, and now the repay is coming back to you. Yes, a good card indeed. Wow. Okay. I've moved too far down the line, so let's work back up the other way. Here's Amy saying hello. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. We're all trying to find that connection between all of us. Cody, if I pulled a card on you for tonight, it's you building your reputation, and a good one. You've sent your work out to the world, and you're getting approval for it. And this is your way of communicating with the world. So what you're doing, Cody, it's right. No matter what it is that it is you're doing, it's right for you, and it's right for all those people around you. So that is good. Here's Demarius sending love to everyone. I'm gonna move back up the list here to Nellie. Nellie, you dropped in. Let me see what we're looking like for you tonight. Ooh, change said you said you weren't going to do, right? Well, I promise you I'm not going to do that. This is changing horses in midstream, because you find out new information. You find that you have been charging ahead in the wrong direction. You had bad information, and you're gonna find out that you can go back, right? You can change horses in midstream. Say, okay, I changed now. I'm better, and remember to apologize to people. We all push our way through this world through others' karmas, pushing them out of our way. But this is you finding out that you don't continue on the wrong path. And it's one of the maybe 12 different paths that are going through your life right now. The new information is going to change things, and and really really bring good change that you can live with, that will change that stick around. And so often, and it's like New Year's resolutions, so often by the end of January, we've stopped running that 10 miles or whatever it was. Okay. Now here's the man. I would say that you are truly on the correct path. The the transportation that you're taking, the white horse. This is whoever you're working with, living with uh, you're getting through things. So, Lydia, that's a good one. Nini says, Franklin, what my week will look like next week. Okay, Nini, as we get into Pisces next week, the dreams. That's what the 12th house is all about, is dreaming it and then living it out. And there you are. What you have turned down, Nini, several times before, is going to be offered again. Only the offer is coming, but only one more time. Cody says, I know one thing. My little sister likes to debate my parents, but I have moments when I'll say something to them, and is very honest to them. And of course, she is a Sagittarius. You're so right about that. One of my granddaughters is a Sagittarius, and she couldn't tell a lie if she wanted to. It's just not in her. She can't do it. And Nini says, "Okay, thank you." Nini, it's good change. And that's what life is all about. Is we change. If you were the very same, this is why you can't go into the past, right? Everybody has changed. It doesn't exist anymore. Those people, none of those people are the same that they were. And when you come right down to it, people change every day. They have the opportunity to change every day. And I'm looking back on our list now. Demarius, are you still here? Are you still hanging with us here? Demarius, Demarius, who sent loving you all to the room here. Demarius, yes, says she's still right there. And here's that's that could be you who's walking away, who's decided that you've gotten all of the good out of a relationship, and now the best thing to do is to get back out of it. And this more likely than anything is work. It's somebody you work with that has really been grating on you, and I think you're going to threaten maybe to leave if that person doesn't straighten up and fly right. So there seems to be some conflict going on that can be completely changed, Demarius, by not being with those same people. There are some people that you can't help. Some people who have not yet learned the lesson that they're being taught by their spirit guides. Demarius says, I live with my pigeon, and probably very happily, right? That's people and animals are very connected, but even more so is how all of us are connected around the world. It's a powerful thing if you can get even 100 people to think the same thought at the same time. you are sending karma out into the world. If you could get 1 million people to think the same thought at the same time, well, then you have a situation like the pilot a few years ago who had to turn around and come right back and land on the Hudson River. How do you think that plane landed so easily? Because of everyone who was watching it live on television, right out there on the river, everyone hoping, praying for the best. And it just floated down, eased into that water like there was no water there whatsoever. And these are the things that people can accomplish out there. Accomplish. Cody is saying, I know one thing. To this Sunday will be my parents' 30-year anniversary. Ah, man, great. I always thought it was funny that it was on the first day of Pisces. Well, 54 years ago, I got married on Friday the 13th. And that's how you always remember your anniversary. when we had our 50th anniversary, I asked my wife if, knowing what you know now, would you still marry me? And she said yes. And I took that as a great compliment from the smartest girl I ever knew. We have some meows and mews and trues. And this is a very good evening for people finding out what okay. Now, Lily girl. Lily, did we ever? I don't think we ever pulled a card on you. Lily girl has stepped to the front and said, oh, Lily, your inner child. See the child under the throne there? Your inner child who's been with you for forever, right? The child is asking you to come out and play, dear. Lily, your inner child says, stop being so doggone serious about everything and come out and play again. This is one of your guides who's always been with you, who watches over you, who knows what's best for you, and is trying to bring you out. Karen's saying, I had a rooster following me in my credit union parking lot. Our rooster's good luck. Wow. Now there's a question. Are roosters good luck? They certainly are in Chinese astrology. Yes. Yes. See, that could have been a whole lot more than just a rooster. Did the rooster cross your path, or was just following you? Because you kept it behind you, and that was a good thing to do. That rooster had a message. It was cross your path. He was maybe telling you not to spend money, maybe telling you that there was a better deal somewhere else, or what particular that you were doing. It looks like the rooster had come to block your path, to let you know that it was not all smooth sailing. So to beware, to watch yourself. And okay, said Crazy Coolios. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay. Now, Crazy, there's someone from your past who wants to renew a relationship. Someone's calling you from the past. Someone, and someone probably will actually call you on the phone and try to get together with you. And if if this is someone you've worked with, they're probably trying to get money. No, it's, there's there's friends and there's friends, right? That's and it seems like everyone is in the into the same things, into the I live in a community that's always been a very musical community, and music publishing starts it all. I mean, the big buddy of music, and it's hard to find anyone who's not somehow connected to the music industry. I went to my dentist the other day, and we were talking about his recording studio, right? He has always just a little dubbing studio, but everybody in their house has they're part of the music industry. It's a wonderful thing to be part of a community, but you can take it too far when you go, say, Amish, and you deny that the rest of the world is out there, and you try to bring kids up like that. And see, and for you youngsters out there, if you want to change your life, have children. There's nothing like it to change your entire life. I have two. I have a daughter and a son. One's 40, one's 50, and they they're still, wow, such a they can be such a huge factor in your life. I have one that does everything to take care of me, right? And the other seems to do everything to to go the other way. It's and that one comes with me into this life from a former life. When when I first heard of my karma building life from a lady named Marianne Russell, greatest intuition reader that I've ever seen. She she really explained the whole thing that I had as a child been taken in off the streets by a gypsy band, and my son is one of the people in that gypsy band, and I became like the Friar Tuck of the Robin Hood band, right? They're gypsies, they steal, and this is the big conflict that I had with my son in that karma building life. Is it okay to take what you want? And I was told at that time by Marianne that my son and I were going to bump heads for a long, long time in this lifetime. And boy, has that ever come to pass? Here's Cody say, from earlier today while I was vacuuming the floor, listening to The Sorcerer Apprentice from Fantasia. Oh man, we got a lot of wild imagination. That was the whole idea, wasn't it? That's why Disney puts together this fantastic music with the visual, and you don't even have to see the visual to visualize it, and whatever you whatever you really think is wonderful. And this is was the vision of Walt Disney. Imagine someone being so proud of their work that they live there at Disneyland or Disney World. It's that was a different time. Do you remember Nikita Khrushchev, the Russian leader in the 1950s and up into the 1960s? Khrushchev made a trip to the USA. He spoke to the United Nations, and he was highly disappointed when he made that speech to the United Nations. And the reason he was disappointed is that they would not let him go to Disneyland. they feared for his health if he got out into a crowd. that America was so against Russians at that time that they couldn't let him out there. So it's that was the reason that he was beating the desk with his shoe and saying, "We were here before you, and we will bury you." And I want to go to Disney World. And so back to our point here. Nini say our children are blessings. My only child, my only son, is 37. Well, that's just about the age of mine. And whew, it's what I tell you what's even better, Nini, is grandchildren. Oh man, the the unconditional love you get from a child um, who really does love you. You can't beat that. Cody's saying, yes, all of the different variety shows. Oh man, uh-huh, uh-huh. There are uh, entertainment has actually turned into the biggest business in the world. Well, I mean, entertainers used to be looked down upon. They were low class in society until really the last 100 years. So to think that within a 100-year period, we go from Edison's Nickelodeon to Fantasia. It's just fantastic because it's open to everyone. That's the wonderful thing about media, mass media, is that it's open to everyone. No one's excluded. Everyone is just as important as anyone else. And this is really the big lesson that we all have to learn in life, is to respect other people as being God's children. There's angels are the voice, the hands of God. They're the faces of God that we see. We're never shown God. Nobody goes face to face with God. And the reasons that we all get together is to be able to understand why we're here, what this is all about, why are we living this life, and this is what our spirit guides can help us to figure out as we go through life. And don't worry if you can't do it all. Nobody can. This is why we have reincarnation. It really is a mixing bowl that we have here on Earth, and it's only because we try to separate ourselves that we do. There's so much that can be done if we don't get too greedy, if we don't take more than we need, if we respect other people as being part of the God's creation. God is the uncreated creator. The human mind cannot understand the entire concept of God. This is why we have the angels. The angels come to us and they speak to us. And you know something? They speak in all of the 239 different languages being spoken on Earth today. They speak every language, everything. And this is a clue to the inclusiveness of everybody in the world. And the other thing to remember is this is why we are so prejudiced against each other, is that angels always come to us in a form that we will understand. They come looking very much like us, so we won't be afraid. So we will believe them. So we will take their word for it. Everyone who's ever been on this earth, whoever was visited by an angel, that angel looked very much like them. It was their gender, that's for sure. And these things were misinterpreted by people. And this is why we have such prejudice in the world today. Everyone thinks that God's on their side, right? And like all the people in World War II, is God on your side? Well, put it on the money, maybe it'll come true. Here's Nene saying, Franklin, I want to learn how to read tarot, trying to get a better understanding of the meaning of cards. It's such a wonderful system that's been going on for thousands of years. Nobody knows where they came from. The tarot cards are. I was in a restaurant with my son, and he had a good friend who could not speak, and he had learned sign language, and we saw a gentleman trying to. A gentleman who obviously couldn't speak, trying to tell a waiter what he wanted, and my son went over and did the sign language for him. And in that scene, I saw where tarot cards came from. These colored pictures that explain such deep ideas must have been what were used by the travelers who went to a country where they didn't speak the language. You could show someone a tarot card and you get a mutual understanding of very, very deep subjects. And the cards have traveled around the world, and there's a real union on what they mean, and I think that. And Nini, one of the best ways to understand the cards is go on our website. I have videos posted there of the meaning of cards and numbers and all the different things. It's and that's exactly what it's there for, is to show people how they can do readings and understand. See, there's even the colors on the card speak to you. And what I do is beyond. I really feel like I'm like the water dowser. When the water witch picks up that stick, the stick comes to life. The inanimate object comes to life in the right hands. When I look at a tarot card, the scene becomes a moving picture. The whole thing is animated, and depending a lot on the colors of the card. And so different people get different readings, and this is exactly what's supposed to happen, is that the same card means a different thing to different psychics. And so when you want to learn how to read the cards, so much of it is in trusting your intuition, trusting that first thought that comes into your mind. Don't try to rethink it. Don't try to make it go in the direction that you're trying to make it go. This is why psychics have such a hard time reading themselves. They're prejudiced, right? They want what they want. Of course they do. So it's hard to listen and see what the card is really trying to tell you. Cody says, I agree with our creator God and with reincarnation. It certainly makes sense to me. And again, of the 8 billion people on the planet right now, I bet there's 8 billion different ways to look at it, right? Nini's saying, okay, I understand. Yes, dear. Yes. Speaking of numbers, says Cody, my path number is number 9. 9. That means you're here to for others to watch, for others to see how it's done. Right. So that means you're going to be imitated. And that is the big thing about having children. For good or bad, your children are going to imitate everything that you do. Everything. They won't even know it. They will be saying things that came out of your mouth, right? But the number 9 is all about having the whole world follow you around, and you be like my wife. She she ended up opening a big hair salon where all of her friends could come down every day. And Nini's saying, I understand. Cody's saying, oh, well, yeah, yeah, numbers. The numbers, I'm number 2 myself. So that means it's cooperating with other people, right? That I either do or don't. And the biggest problem with 2s is overdoing in the beginning and then getting upset because you're doing all the work and pulling back your emotions. And this is Pisces all over, right? This is the number 12. The 12th house for Pisces is taking the 2 to the next level, right? To the next level. And it's it's all about being true to yourself and being able to understand that the messages your guides send you are meant for you only, just for you. You can't take what's been told to you and force that on other people. And that's caused so many problems in the world. It's just it's not the way to do it. Oh man, Cody's saying his rising sign is in Pisces. The rising sign is how others see you. Rising sign is what was coming up on the horizon when you were born, when you first saw the light of day, and when they first saw you. This is how the world sees you forever, and they see you as a dreamer, right? That's the Pisces, the fish swimming in opposite directions. And I'm a Pisces through and through. I have 2 children, right? One for good, one for bad. One for bad. Everything in my life is 2-sided and is 2 completely different viewpoints. It's the 2 sides of the same coin, but it's completely different. And to try and Pisces has the ability to love and hate the same thing at the same time. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And the 20th century dreamer has been the nickname that Cody has had. Oh boy! I tell you what. I tell you what we need to do is look ahead to next week and see what is going to occur within the next week. Oh, no. All right. Nini, thank you so much for being here, dear. Love to you. Yes. Thanks. Oh, me. Uh, I think let's look at the next 7 days that are coming up. What would my guides tell me to tell you? Oh, not to cry over spilt milk. Don't worry about the past, right? Yeah, 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 man. That's great advice for all of us. What's over is over. These are spilled. They're empty now. But there's 2 more right behind it. Right behind. All he has to do is turn around and look. All he has to do is not give up. That's what the card is saying. Just like Jackie Gleason says, Cody the Great One and Mr. Saturday Night. You know who was one of the favorite stars on the Gleason show was the drunk guy. And I can't even remember his name. But Gleason plays Joe the bartender in one of his skits. And the guy that comes in was so funny, he made a career out of it. I mean, obviously he was a comic, from somewhere, but I mean that he never got an entire word out and became a TV star. Here's Dee Dee say, Cody, don't keep Franklin on all night. Well, we try to bring out everybody. It's so good of you to join us in the chat room, all of you who are willing to open your feelings, your emotions, and show other people how it's done. Right? That's the 9 in all of us, and it's the same as all the signs being with everybody. All the numbers are also within everybody. And this is why we add those numbers up to get a birth number. Every day, the birth number changes. And Reginald Van Gleason III, the rich guy. And imagine back in the 1950s and 60s, early 60s, when Gleason was going, rich guys were unknown quality. Nobody trusted a rich guy, right? Because there were so few of them around. And it's the people who grew up before us would have to see this generation as money grubbing. All they think about is making money, making more money. They don't worry about being happy. They don't worry about anything except making money. And it's how the situation has grown up around us and enclosed us. You have to make a certain amount of money to be able to live in this world. You have to have access to a certain amount of money to live in the world. Devil may care, millionaire playboy. That's what we all want to be, right? Is to have enough money to not ever have to worry about anything else. That's really what the Buddha's father tried to do for him by not showing him the real world. See, if you don't know the story, the Buddha is born to a king, one of like 6 different rulers for all of India. And the king is one of the very few people in the world who can have an astrology reading for his son at his birth. When they see where there's the rising sign, we saw it, we know where the moon sign is. And the Buddha's reading said that he was going, if he stayed connected to the material world, he would become one of the most richest, the richest people in the world. But if he went to the spiritual side and connected, then he would affect the most people in the world and have a good effect upon the most people. So the Buddha's father, to protect him, keeps him inside the palace, right? By the time he's 21 years old, the Buddha has 2 of his own palaces, 2 harems. He's got a beautiful wife, a princess from the next town over or province over, and he has a child, and he has a beautiful son. And he also, every time he leaves the palace to go into town, there is a guard who knows what path he's going to take and goes before him and clears out anything which is not beautiful. The Buddha has never understood that people get old and die, until one day he's going down the street and he finds a dead man laying on the side of the road. Nobody knows how he got there. Nobody knows who he was. He appeared. This vision of a dead person laying on the side of the road, even though everyone in town was in on the idea of the Buddha can never see anything that's not beautiful, because you can't unsee once you've seen something. So the Buddha awakes at the age of 21 and forsakes everything. That leaves the palace in the middle of the night, changes clothes with a guard so no one will stop him, and he goes and lives with the monks in the forest, fasting, trying to get visions, and he almost dies from lack of food. And then his friends, the other monks, revive him, and he goes through this 40-day period of sitting under a tree, thinking, and being assaulted by the Dark Lord, who comes as voluptuous women or people with money, and the Buddha will not be tempted. And he comes as a hurricane and tries to blow him out from under the tree, and the Buddha will not be moved. And this is the start of the Buddha. And it was all because his father wanted to protect him, as everyone wants to protect their children, give them the best life. But this is the reason that the Jewish nation, when they moved into Europe, built the ghettos around themselves to protect their children from that modern world and being corrupted by the modern world. Oh, so here's Cody saying, "Devil May Care Millionaire" had another character of Joe the bartender, Charlie Bratton the loudmouth, the poor soul. Ah, yes, Fenwick Babbitt, Rum Dum, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. All of these people. Imagine that. Imagine creating that much good, that much joy to go out into the world and feel like he must have felt like he was getting such love in return. The way that the television can work when it really works is to take that one stage and open it up to the entire world. Let everyone see. And humor is the best way, always. You either laugh or cry. And sometimes that's really about your only choices. You have to play the hand you're dealt. There's no doubt about it. You can kick and scream all the way, but it just wears you out. You might as well go with the flow, because you cannot push the river. The river will not be pushed, no matter how deep you get out there in it, right? So you have to take care of yourself, and you have to expand yourself to allow for change. One of the big problems that we have, here's Demarius checking out for the evening, dear. People have to change, because it's just the way that we're all brought in, and the reason that we're all brought into this life. Fran Porter saying, "Please help! I lost my cell phone." Okay, man. Well, I can try. Hardest thing in the world is to locate something that has been lost. Yes. Oh, my. Let's see. Now the cell phone, Fran, so is it still where you lost it? Are you going to be able to find that phone? Right? Is it worth looking for? No, it's already gone. It's completely gone. I'm afraid, dear. This is people picking up what you dropped. they won't even look back at us, right? They don't want us to see their faces, and that means it's someone that you don't know. The guides would try to show us what they look like if you knew what they look like. Never left the house with it, so that almost means that somebody took it from the house. I mean, if it's not there, it's not there. Although, in many cases, just like this, have you ever seen the movie Harvey with the disappearing change purse that then comes back at the right time? I have had so many instances like that where it just wasn't time to find it. Look there the fifth time, and suddenly there it is. So Cody says, I said for Burley, I've also gave out my own character in my future radio as well. Oh man. Now, future radio. See, that's going back to the past of radio. When I was in college, I took a class on radio production, and we actually produced radio plays. And to write them and then produce them with this class of people. And it was the most fun I've ever had. It was great. Just pulling something out of nothing and working with other people. Having that group of people made it just great. There was no day when everybody was, not into it. Oh, man. Fran saying, no, I'm not sure what Fran? I see. The messages were retracted from Fran. Cody talking about the old TV characters here. There were, and one time, that was virtually the only thing on television was variety shows. Just like before that, it had been nothing but Westerns, right? Everybody had to have a Western. The movie. Okay. Each of us are making our own movie, aren't we? We're the director. You every scene in your life, you get this call cut. It's your movie. And So did we ever really get to look at next week and what was going to happen next week? I don't think we did. So keep my promises here. Chance to catch up next week. There's not going to be near as much action as there was this week. And this is your moon signs pushing things along. So it's a time to catch up, a time to also catch up with your spiritual life through the stained glass window up here. And the swords hanging over this head are thoughts. Those are dreams. Those are what are coming to you from the spirit world. Fran's saying, can I get a card try? You can. Yes, dear. Let's see. For Fran, there you are. Keeping to yourself on your hill. And look at that. You're trying to go against the wind. What? There's a situation where you know better, and you're being shown better, and you're sticking with it. you're going against the wind. You're not allowing public opinion to sway you. This is good. This is making up your own mind, not letting other people force you into decisions. So, friend, this is, see that sword in your hand? You're daring people to try and change your mind. You've had enough of that, of doing what others think is best for you. And yes, it is time for you to step out and follow that different drummer. Follow what you know is best for you. Only you are the expert on you. Here's Cody talking about the TV people again. Everybody as well from those unique people. Yes, and think about how much you've learned from people on television. How think about athletes. How much better children are at sports now because they get to watch the very best athletes in the world, sometimes in slow motion, on TV all the time, every day. And it's the best way to train yourself to do anything. If you watch videos of it, like I did this afternoon trying to fix my car, right? You can find a video of it, and you can just about do anything in the world. And that's the biggest message that I can give to all of you is anything is possible. Don't give up on yourself. There's always tomorrow. There's always the next life. You don't have to do everything in one lifetime. It's not possible to do everything in one lifetime. In evolution, you have to be able to follow each and every path. It's not enough just to look at it. You've got to actually live a life in that path. This is that's why it takes so long. This is why people have been around for 25,000 years since the last ice age, when things thawed out and the world was suddenly discovered, according to Moses. That's when the ice cap 25,000 years ago melted away. This is when the earth became visible. This is when the stars and the moon become visible and the sun become visible. And in Moses' history, this is the invention of them, when they put them on there. Cody says, Gleason, Jonathan Winters, Red Skelton. Boy, have you ever seen the Red Skelton movies? Red Skelton was a big movie star. He was. As a young guy, he's a big guy, very athletic, and does all sorts of pratfalls, very, Red Skelton set the stage that the vulgar comedians of today broke through. I don't think Red Skelton ever has sworn on stage to this day, right? And was a wonderful performer. But that's those days are gone, and we are too. That's our hour. I'll see you next time on the Cosmic Watch, same time, same channel. I'm Franklin, and I do appreciate you all being here, and I have love for you.